Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Vanya's homestead journey. And to be honest, this journey is a hell of a lot more than just a homestead journey. This is a journey from me filming my life, documenting my life for at least 10 years, I would say. And now I started to put this stuff on YouTube because I always documented everything for myself to learn from. I documented everything from job interviews to starting my first business to testing supplements to whatever. I've done a lot of stuff, and I've done everything on video for myself to re-watch it and then learn from it and improve myself. That's one of the weird things that I got going on for myself. So I've been reasonably comfortable on a camera because of that. And when I moved here, I thought might as well share how I'm doing this journey, because my life turned out like a lot of people's lives a little bit different than planned. And for me, that meant that for the outside world, I had it all going on pretty well. At the job, I owned my own company, I had a house, had a wife, had everything planned out for me for the next years, and then everything went in a different direction, like for so many people these times. And it made me rethink everything, not just the way I was living in the system we were living in the society, but also in the way we live with nature and the way we live with each other. So for me, that started a change and started a whole different lifestyle. And now people sometimes say to me, "Oh, that's so cool that you did that." And for me, it wasn't something that was cool that I did. It was, of course, it's really cool. It feels really cool now. And now everything is starting to get together a little bit. But it was more like a necessity. That's how it felt for me. I could not and did not want to live the way I lived anymore after everything got turned upside down in the Netherlands. So, and I filmed that whole process as well, which is very personal, so I haven't shared that. And it wasn't intended to be shared so much as I wanted to do it for myself, even though I always had it in the back of my head, maybe. Well, that being said, a lot of people say to me, "Oh, it's so good that you did that, and I wish I did it, but I have this, or this is my reason, or I don't have the financial possibility to do it," or whatever reason. Everybody has his or her reasons. But also a lot of people are in the situation that I was when I moved here, or when I decided to, like the hell with it, I'm going. I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna follow my heart for a while. First of all, you can do that too. Second of all, if you got any money, you're gonna probably lose it if you follow your heart, because your heart is one of the worst advisors when it comes to money. You need to be rational about that, which I wasn't. And that brings me to another point that a lot of people say, "Yeah, I don't have the financial possibilities to start something like you are doing." They say it to me. I really want to live like that, but there's no possibilities. Well, there's a lot of possibilities, and I took them, and it's going to involve some risk and hard work, and allowing yourself to reach rock bottom before you can bounce up again. And for me and I met Josephine, so that makes it for us. Because if you're doing it together, you really gotta do it together, because it is, well, if you're in it together, it's something you cannot do alone anymore. And that means there's a certain degree of responsibility that makes it a lot easier in some sense because you get to share it, and a lot harder in some sense because you now bear the responsibility for someone else other than yourself. And if you have a strong sense of responsibility, then you're gonna take that heavy, and I'm taking that heavy. So now I don't have to just fix my life for one person, which is me. Fixing is the wrong word if you talk about someone else, because everybody's responsible for fixing their own life in a sense. But now I have the responsibility for someone that I love again. And I'm very, very grateful for that, because it gives you a lot of meaning and a lot of motivation to keep going like this. I'm making this video while I'm looking for my cat who got lost, which is really messed up because hunting season is starting this weekend, and they're gonna be shooting buck around here, like roe deer, which is really messed up because she's scared of everything. So if she hears a bang somewhere, like a gun firing or something, she's gonna run in some direction, whichever seems best at that time, and she's gonna be gone. So I'm a little bit worried. It's the little fluffy one, and she does whatever she wants, Kaya. So I'm a little scared of that. That being said, Kaya! That being said, I want to show with this channel, and that's why I'm taking it chapter by chapter. And even though the chapters go mix and mingle in each other, with this channel, Kaya! With this channel I want to show that starting from absolute rock bottom is the best place to turn your whole life around. If you're at a certain point, you have a certain safety build up for your life, and it's really hard from there to make a big change. But if you feel like you're at the absolute rock bottom, like I did, I felt like it wasn't going to be okay anymore. I felt like I could never start over, even though in my head I knew, and I've always said, if you throw me with nothing in the middle of the desert somewhere, with just my brain and the experience that I got now, I can rebuild a business, a house, and a whole life around myself again. Well, I got the opportunity, but you also have the opportunity. And that's not just me. Lots of people do that, and way more people don't do that. And this video is a little bit for the people that don't do it, but really want to do it. You can. And if you are at that rock bottom, like I said, there's only one way, you know. There's only one way when you're really down, and that is back up. And all you gotta do is not sit there. Put on your big bad boy pants. Swallow your pride, because that's the hardest thing. Swallow your pride. Take whatever you can get and start somewhere. Restart somewhere. And that is what I did. And I chose to restart. If you're gonna restart anywhere, if you're gonna restart anyway from zero, you might as well do it in a place where you can grow, because you gotta grow from 0 to 100 again, right? You might as well do it in a place where the 100 looks at least looks like the way you really want the 100 to look like. Because if you're gonna do it in a place that you've done it before, you're gonna get sort of the same result as you got before. And for me, that was no option. I didn't want that same result because that made me miserably unhappy without realizing it. Because I fully surrendered to it that was gonna be my life for the rest of my life. So rock bottom means a reset, a full reset for your life. And if you reset, you can do it anywhere. So if you're there in that rock bottom place, like a lot of people, thinking that you reach the end of it and that it's not possible, think of what your end game would be. Think of what your end goal would be. Where do you want your 100 to be if you're at 0 right now? And how do you want it to be? And then go to the 0. I hope I'm making sense here. Go to the 0 of the place where you can reach that 100 that you want. And then start working like crazy. And prepare yourself for feeling like a 6-year-old. And especially if you go to a different country, because you don't know the language in the beginning. I'm here now for 1.5 years or so, and starting to understand about 75% of what is being spoken to me. Not to mention replying to that. So prepare to be like a 6-year-old for a while. Prepare to take the jobs that you are overqualified for, because you're not, because you don't speak the language. Prepare to learn new skills. Prepare to read a shitload of books if you have to. Watch YouTube if you can't, or don't want to, or not able to do it from books. I do it from audiobooks. I have my job here. I have to drive 45 minutes to my job. That gives me 1.5 hour of audiobook time a day. Well, you can learn a lot that way. You can learn a hell of a lot that way. Start at 0, at the place you want, where your 100 can be your dream 100, and then go. Then work. That's it. And you're gonna be sitting some days like literally I did, with not having enough firewood, it being -20, your car breaking down, tensions running up, no real job security, thinking what the hell did I got myself into? And then summer starts, and you know, I'm not gonna have another winter like that. So you're gonna chop wood like crazy. You're gonna work your ass off. You're gonna get better at everything, and slowly things are getting better. You're gonna work a lot and not be rewarded for it. For me, that was the Airbnb, and I knew how that worked because I built businesses. And if you build businesses, you know that you gotta put in the work first and get the rewards later. And that is something that people have twisted in their head nowadays. You want your money first and then start working. Well, wake up, because that's not how it works if you want to achieve something. You're gonna start working. For me, that was the Airbnb. I worked my ass off for 3 months and didn't make any money with it. And now it's done, and now it's a little extra income. And that's how you slowly build. And your job, you're gonna take a job, and you're new in the country, so it's gonna be, like I said, probably gonna be a job that you wouldn't take in your own country, or that you have already taken once and done for years. Whatever. You're gonna be probably overqualified, but you're not, because you don't speak the language, and because you have to totally reprove yourself in a new country. So you take that and you pay the bills with that. That's it. Your job is just to pay the bills. If you want to make money and build something, you're going to do it on the side. And that means when you come home, you're not going to have a lot of time. The first year especially, you're not going to have a lot of time to enjoy this. Look at this. Because you're going to spend it building something that is going to build you. That is the next step. And you can do that too. I am right there in that process right now. And I'm not even know the exact new steps from here. I've got well, I do know the exact steps, but I'm not sure not knowing if it's going to work out that way, because I've made a lot of plans in my life and they always go slightly different. So I'm working on a very strict regime right now that I created for myself. Very strict work ethic, very strict principles. Not just here, but also at the job that I got. Very strict, very hard on myself, because I feel like I want to perform there as well. I want to give the best version of myself in as many places as possible. Don't forget home, because that's also one of those places. And that's the first one I forget usually. Go for it. Just go for it. If you feel like you have nothing left to lose, or you lost it all, well, that's probably because it's true. You fucked up, someone else fucked up, life happened, whatever. Doesn't really matter. You're at the point that you are at now because a series of choices that you made or other people made, most likely you made. So it's time to face the music. And start over. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You can do that for a while, for a couple of weeks. You're really shitty. If you can, cry a little. And then pack up your shit and do the work. And if you need any help, there's people out there. There's lots of people out there. I'm one of them. I'm not there yet, but I feel like I'm mostly out of the survival situation and into the building situation again. So I'm moving up again. In the right direction. So yeah, I can reach out. You can reach out to me if you have questions or something you want to know. And there's a lot of people like me. Or just watch these videos and I'll explain it to you. And I will also post my journey that I have gone so far, so you can follow that as well. I don't know where I'm gonna start. I don't know yet. But maybe it's something that I want to show, because I think there's a lot of people that don't know their place in the world right now and don't know where they want to go or what they're capable of. And maybe I can show the way a little bit, because I've always thought outside the box a little bit. And the world is trying so hard to keep you in that box that I can understand how difficult that is. Oh yeah, just thoughts. And thoughts change sometimes. So I hope if I make another video in a year that I'm a wiser man and that I learned a lot and that I can share a better story, because that's growth. And we're all on the same path towards growth, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe this is just one of those videos of me talking and not making any sense. But maybe it makes sense to someone who's sitting there in the same situation that I was in, and who's willing to put himself in an even worse situation to hit absolute rock bottom, to come out of it at some place. At some place that you really want to be. And rebuild there. That would be cool. If you got questions or you want to know anything, you can go to offthegridwithmark.com and there's my number on it. Or you can just click on a little balloon or whatever, and you can WhatsApp me or send me a Facebook message. You can do whatever, and I will do my best to respond as honestly as possible. Well, fully honest, but as good as possible. And that's all I got for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hey, do.